Namaste. Thank you for showing up on your mats today. I'm practicing with you, so let's enjoy. Please lie down onto your back and just take a moment to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Make sure before you practice that you have any bricks and blankets and equipment that may be supportive during your practice today. So once you're lying down on your back, allow your eyes to softly close. Broaden and soften the throat. And as you exhale through the palate, the long breath, observing the quality of your exhale. And ask every breath you inhale to carve a deeper pathway. Ask your exhale to make a smooth exit. So your inhale carves a deep pathway in, and your exhale a smooth exit. And start to create a rhythm. As you inhale fully, I'd like you to swallow at the top of your inhale. Exhale long and deep. And then perhaps a weight, a minute weight at the end of your exhale. So inhale fully and swallow. Exhale deeply and wait. And as we continue this, I'll place our regulated rhythmic breath on. And I'd like you to join in. And we'll take about 5 minutes practice of heart rate variability. So let's all breathe together. Exhaling for 4. Inhaling for 3. Exhaling for 3. Inhaling for 2. Exhaling for 2. Inhaling for 1. Exhaling for 1. Take a moment to very slowly bring your knees onto your chest and wrap your arms on top of your shins or underneath the shins. Knees to chest pose. Stay with the rhythm of your breath, relaxed tongue, relaxed throat, a gentle seal of your lips. And roll yourself off to any side you wish and come up into a seated position. Today's mudra is Earth Mudra, Prithvi. And if you create a circle with your ring finger and the tip of your thumb, and so your other 3 fingers are extended, and then just place the hands facing palm uppermost onto your knees, broadening and lifting the chest, tucking the throat back in and up, and either sealing your eyes closed or having them softly open into Shiva seal. Dropping all your awareness down into your body, checking in, how do you feel today? Where and what part of your body or your mind may you be inhabiting? Honor that space. And then let's create our sankalpa, our vow for today, for today's practice, using the sacred words I am and your choice of sankalpa. Said silently, softly, with awareness and full intention in your mind right now. Blink your eyes gently open. Take the 2 first fingers and ground them on the floor into Bhu Mudra onto your yoga mat. And then as you next availably inhale, turn the palms to face uppermost. Sweep the arms and your gaze as you raise the arms up. Palms together, exhale, draw them down the center line, pause at the brow, the lips, the heart, and lift and lengthen your neck as you bow your head down to your inner peace and your sankalpa. Drop your hands, raise the gaze, and just before we move on, I won't be teaching in mirror style today, so my left side will be the same leg as your left side, your left leg. And come to lie down on your back. Have a break. And bending your knees, take the brick between the hands and just a very, very, very gentle pressure, not too much. And just raise them up and then let the back edge of your shoulders slide down. As you inhale, take the arms above the head with a still slight bit of pressure, and then move your hips and lift them 2 or 3 inches off to the left-hand side. Draw the knees to chest and drop both legs down onto the right-hand side. If you wish, you can lift and turn your head and rotate it away from your bent knees. Exhaling for 1. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. As you gently inhale, roll yourself back to center. Neutralize the neck and the hips and pelvis. Lift the pelvis, place it 2 or 3 inches to the right-hand side. Knees to chest, drop legs to the left. Rotate the head off to the right. Inhale for 1. Exhale for 1. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. On your next available inhale, derotate the head, derotate the legs, and bring the head and legs into neutral and your arms down and your knees gently onto your chest. Roll off to any side you wish and bring yourself into a child's pose. Arms either extending forward, palms facing uppermost, knees and hips a little apart just to settle. Or if it's more available to you, you take your arms down by the sides of your body and let the palms also face up. Inhaling your arms to the front of the mat, or flip your palms over, rounding the back of the body through cow tilt. Start to speak to your spine and move it in any way that's fresh and helpful and potentially inspiring to your spine. So just moving the back, rounding and working your way into the side ribs, the front, back. Using the breath to move you. Anything you find helpful. And then come to a neutral spine and drop down into your shoulders and push back up. Tucking the toes under, keeping the shoulders supported, raise the knees off the floor just a little bit. So feel that support you have now gathered between your shoulder blades, lifting the lower belly up. The hips press back down onto your heels, looking forward or dropping the head. Start to raise the hips, the sit bones up towards the sky, and find yourself into downward facing dog. If you wish to walk the dog, be mindful of how you walk the dog. Every now and again, checking in, there's no tightness in the neck. A little yes, and a little no. And then start to take a wide, short, downward dog. And so we take our right hand and hold the outer edge of the left ankle and rotate the spine. And then we repeat the same movement on the second side. Bring the knees down, hips sit back, and fold yourself forward once again into child's pose. A restful inhale, a soft, smooth exhale. And find yourself rolling up onto your knees. So once again, back into a supported all four position, tabletop, toes tuck, knees lift, hips press back, downward facing dog. This time we're going to raise the heels high and we're going to kick our wrist with one toe and place the foot down. So we raise up onto both balls of the feet. Bring the left toes forward to kick the left wrist and lower the heels to stabilize. Inhale and down. Inhale forward, exhale down. Inhale forward, exhale down. Inhale, kick forward, exhale, kick down. And then taking yourself once again back into a wider, shorter downward dog. Simply walk your hands back towards the feet. Externally rotate the feet and come into either goddess pose, gentleman horse stance, or if your hips and knees are available to manage malasana, squat a little lower down. Finding a slow, steady breath, broadening and softening the throat, lengthening the inhale and deepening the exhale. On your next inhale, place the fingertips down, raise the hips, toe heel the feet back in, and come into a soft knee forward fold. Grounding down the mound of the big toe joints, Pada Bandha. Find the foundation of the feet, the rhythm of the breath, the quietness of your mind. And then with your inhale, bend your knees, roll up very, very slowly. Top of the inhale, arms rise. End of your exhale, hands come down to your heart. So we're just going to take a small vinyasa, a short little sequence. Option to remain in any pose you wish or to just enjoy the flow. So hook the thumbs. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Forward fold, exhale. Hands to your shins, raise the head and heart halfway to the horizon. And walk forward into downward facing dog. With the toes together, float your right leg with the hip facing the ground, the heel pressing upwards. And then find some external rotation in the whole right column of that leg as you bend your knee and imagine tapping your right heel onto the left buttock. You raise your left heel high and bring the right thigh forward into a high lunge. Option to stay here. Or hook your thumbs and come into a high lunge. Or option to drop the back knee down. Arms sweep down. Transferring into Virabhadrasana 3. Option to have the hands connected to the floor or to the hips or in front of the heart. Option here to take yourself into a standing split pose. As we next exhale, we bend our right knee and our left knee touches almost down the back of the right calf. And come slowly with an inhale up, with standing, with assistance. Option to stay here, or find your external rotation and come into Vrksasana, tree pose. From tree pose, we bring that left leg back up, all the way back into a high lunge. And we pivot the back heel down, checking the heels are on the same trend line in preparation for Virabhadrasana 2. In Virabhadrasana 2, just briefly for a moment, flip the palms wide as we broaden the chest and rotate the head over to the left-hand side and then back over to the right as we flip the palms over. Reverse warrior 2. Extended triangle, the forearm rests onto the thigh. The left arm floats to the sky or beyond. And transition into Skandasana. So we just windmill the upper body down across the center, transferring the weight from left to right. From left, stay on the left, pivot the whole body round, step forward into standing forward bend, Uttanasana, and then use your inhale to roll up into mountain pose. Arms rise and bring them down the center line. So we'll repeat that vinyasa on the second side. Hook the thumbs, inhale, rise. Exhale, bow down, soft knees through the center line. Halfway rise with an inhale. Step back into downward facing dog on your exhale. Bring the toes together and float the left leg up, internally rotating so the heel and the thigh are facing your yoga mat. And then externally rotate the whole column of that leg. Bend your left knee and tap the right buttock with your left heel. Bring the left leg to face forward and sweep it with assistance into a high lunge. Option to drop the right knee or stay here, or hook your thumbs and sweep up into our extra high lunge. On your next available exhale, sweep forward, transfer your weight forward into Virabhadrasana 3. Or standing splits. The right knee, your left knee, both bend. Use your inhale to rise up into standing, supporting yourself if necessary. And then find the external rotation of the right hip, placing the foot in position for tree pose. Please observe the sensations of your breath, the quietness of the mind, the stillness of the pose. Releasing the right leg in, drawing the hands down, coming back down into a high lunge. Our right heel pivots down. We check the heels are on the same track line. And we windmill our right arm up and over into Virabhadrasana 2. Let's broaden the chest by turning the palms up and rotating the gaze off to the right. And then back to the left, flipping the palms over. Reverse Warrior 2 on your inhale. Extended triangle on your next exhale. Pause in the pose, not in the breath. The whole body from radiating outwards radiates forwards. And we slide across the center into Skandasana, off to the right, off to the left, off to the right. Rolling the whole body to face the right side of the mat. And step back into downward facing dog. Coming down onto the knees. Sit the hips back onto the heels. And just briefly pause before we rest forward into child's pose. So from child's pose, use your hands and your inhale to roll up very slowly. So we have an option of using the bricks and coming into a bridge pose with the bricks at this height, or a very gentle lower inversion this height. So option 1, have the bricks together, your heels underneath your knees, the feet hip width apart, and roll up into Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. You may just want to briefly tuck the shoulders under, keeping the chest broad, raising the heels to give the back a little bit more space, and the bricks come down. You may have the option of just standing on the edge of the fingertips, and that will be your Setu Bandhasana. Choose to stay here, or raise the legs up into Viparita Karani, noticing that I'm not using any support, i.e. the wall, but allowing my sacrum, my lower back, to press down onto my bricks. As we next inhale, bend the knees, place the feet down, land. The heels rise, the hips rise, the bricks move out of the way, and we allow the whole of the spine to come down. If you're doing the second option, find yourself some wall space. And please bring your hips about as close as you possibly can to the wall, and raise the legs up the wall. So only use the bricks if you're not contraindicated for menstruation or unmedicated blood pressure or glaucoma. So if that is your option, then you want to keep the hips on the same height as your heart. Alternatively, bending your knees, raising the pelvis, place the bricks at this level, 6 inches-ish away from the wall, and lower your back, your sacrum, down onto the bricks. Let the legs rise. Pose 1, pose 2, pose 3. Using the hands to bring the legs in, we raise the hips, let them come down. And in your own time, just roll yourself off to the side and come to rest in child's pose. Your hands on your inhale raise you up and come to sit on your hips for a forward bend. So bring the legs in front and scoop back your sit bones. Hands come by the sides of the hips, broadening and widening the chest, palms down onto the floor or using the bricks. Engage the spine. Keep your gaze very, very low and soft. So choose to stay here, or option 2, coming into your seated forward bend, inhaling, raising the arms. On your exhale, extend and bow forward, using this strap or the action of the hands around your feet. As you inhale, draw the back of the heart forward to the front heart. On your exhale, soften and lengthen. Do that again. Inhale, draw the back of the heart to the front of the heart. And on your exhale, draw the whole spine and the head and soften it down. Your next available inhale, everything emerges up. And the palms sit back onto the ground. So option to remain here, or draw the feet closer into the hips and rise up into tabletop pose. Hips and chest open, or coming into full Parvatasana back incline pose. So as we inhale, keep the broadness of the chest. Raise the hips, drop the toes, and drop the head. Your next available exhale brings you down. So take a moment now to lie your body down in preparation for Shavasana. Laying the legs just a little apart, 6 to 10 inches. Do the same with the arms. Arrange the head into a completely neutral position. And when you've made all those necessary adjustments to your body, potentially covered yourself with a blanket, allow your eyes to close. Allow your mouth to open. And I'd like just to finally read Go Placidly to you. My yoga teacher, when I first moved down to Wiltshire, used to read this piece out every time we practiced. Either sometimes at the beginning and sometimes at the end. So just make sure you're settled, relaxed. You have nothing to do right now. Nowhere to go. Take an inhale. Take an exhale and open your mouth and soften even more. Go placidly amid the noise and haste. And remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender. Be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and dearly. And listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labours and aspirations in the noisy confusions of life, keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery and broken dreams. It's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. So accept a long inhale in Perhaps just swallow at the top of that inhale, right now. Exhale deeply, and perhaps wait. And repeat. And start to let your sense of hearing act like a radar beam, slowly bringing yourself out, awakening your limbs, awakening your body, until you take a full deep body stretch, letting yourself roll onto your right-hand side, and emerging once again to come back into a seated position. Bring the palms together in front of your heart, Anahat Mudra. Let your eyes close. I'd like you to repeat the exact same Sankalpa silently in your mind right now 3 times. Your next available inhale, your arms sweep wide and high. As you exhale, draw them down, pausing at the brow, the lips, your heart. And softly bow your head down to your inner peace and the softness in your heart. Thank you very much, everyone, for practicing with me today. I'll see you next time.